Hey, and big news coming out of last night. Playoff P is back, baby. Oh. Paul George is all the way back. He talked about why he was struggling down there. He said he didn't appreciate mental health enough, anxiety, depression, being locked in the bubble, which I could see that possibly being the case, especially after what Terrence Ross told us it was like, how there's not a lot of room. Playoff P came all the way back last night. Kawhi Leonard went into full cyborg mode. He was knocking down everything. But the big story of the night is not that the Clippers came back and Luka's ankle seemed to be a little bit hurt and the Clippers won by like 70 points or whatever, and they seem to be on a tear here. Will the Mavericks be able to bounce back? Will Luka be able to get back to his step-back form? Seems like that could be difficult, but we will wait and see 2 more days. The big story out of last night was a man who was invited to be a part of the virtual fans, okay? Invited to be a part of the virtual fans who are on the screen in the back there. And he was told to be there at a certain time. You go to log in. I assumed it was a Zoom call. Turns out it's not a Zoom call because I do have the Zoom thing on my phone because I've been forced to do a couple of those. It is a Microsoft Teams app.
What?
So I had to download the Microsoft Teams app, and then I had to sign in with the sign in, the login. So I was supposed to be there at one time. I didn't get there until 4 minutes later because I had to download the app, sign into the app, do all this stuff. So I thought I was potentially going to miss my seat that I had because they said it was packed to the gills. So you get into this Microsoft Teams app, you get into this little group, and there's this guy. Weird beard, okay? He's doing a full thing. He was the Section 6 fan base moderator. And he goes, welcome to the blah, blah, blah. This is the blah, blah, blah. Can you please hit this button, this button? Then he puts up on the screen, he says, I'm going to share my screen. It's an entire code of conduct that you're supposed to agree to. Like 15 rules, very small. He was like, I'll go through a couple of them here. Okay, no smoking, no this. He said, last week somebody was caught hitting a hookah on camera. I said, sir, that was Lil Wayne, and that was not a hookah. So there was an entire thing. You had to mute your thing, but a couple people, there was like 35 people in the Microsoft team. Some people didn't mute it, so we had dogs barking. We had the TV echoing, which, by the way, the TV was 30 seconds behind the game feed that we had on the Microsoft Teams app. So I guess that was kind of a cool thing. But then you get in there and the game starts. And I don't have a laptop at my house. I barely know how to use this thing. I only log in to see how the YouTube comments are going. I'm not a big laptop guy, not a big iPad guy. I've been a phone guy through and through. And you can do everything on here, I believe. So I did it on my phone. It was a small little screen. And I'm just sitting there staring at this thing, okay? And I'm trying to look at the big screen, the television. My lady's trying to look up there. I have a wig on. I have a beard on. I have glasses on, and I'm like, okay, because we're giving away a lot of money here. We're giving away $500 in site credit to FanDuel. I'm giving away some cash. I mean, I'd like to make this a little bit difficult. And in the games I watched in the past, I feel like there was a lot of wide shots where you just saw the entire board.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought it'd be funny, if I'm just down there in the corner in a wig, in a costume, if people could screenshot and be like, here he is right here. Like, that's how I saw that whole thing going. I saw the entire thing going, where's Waldo? Boom, right there. So then I'm watching this game, okay, and I'm on this tiny little screen, and it's 30 seconds ahead of it. And by the time you look up, you're already behind or whatever. And they didn't show the fans. Maybe in that first quarter they showed it one time.
Maybe.
I'm not even 100% sure. So I'm like, oh my God, this is never going to end. Nobody's going to be able to find me. So I take the wig off. Okay, so I take the wig off, and now I have the beard on, no glasses, and I'm sitting there, and they finally show us up there, and I'm like, oh, but it's so quick. There's like nobody could ever see it. So the beard's getting very hot. I'm sitting in my house, and they said, hey, there I am. There I was right there. That was me. So I'm sitting there, and, I'm like about upset. I'm about upset with how this is going. I'm like, this is not going how I'm playing.
Burt Reynolds.
And this is bingo. And this is a blowout. This game sucks. I'm like, how is this going to go? So I take the beard off. I'm like, all right, maybe more people will see me here with the beard. And I had like I had that long polo on. Everybody knows I'm not comfortable with that. So I took that off as well. I took that shirt off, and it was only, you saw, it was only like from here to here or whatever. I might have had that off for like 30 seconds, and then all of a sudden, boom, the admin has kicked you out, or someone removed you from the meeting or whatever. You have been removed from the meeting by the admin or whatever. And I'm like, are you kidding? I just got kicked out of a virtual arena right now? How do I even get kicked out of this thing? There's people doing a lot worse on these things I've seen on the internet, and I get kicked out for taking my shirt off. The guy told me, hey, you're at your house. You got to do what you got to do. You just can't smoke. You can't do this. I guess in that guidelines, the ones that he didn't cover was can't take off your shirt, because the FanDuel folks who set this up, they said immediately after me getting kicked out, the admin came in, voice of God, Just a reminder, do not take off any of your clothes, and then came right out of there. So I got kicked out of a virtual arena last night, and I don't even know if anybody else has gotten that done to them. Yeah. I'm pretty pumped up about it. So sorry to interrupt. If you're a man watching this, you deserve to have long, great. And you can do that now with our friends at Roman. Right now, you go to GetRoman.com. You get $10 off and free 2-day shipping on Roman swipes, which are guaranteed to make you have longer, more fulfilling every time you get in the sack. Now, let's get back to the fornicating action. But boy, oh boy, that admin, I'm not supposed to bury him. What a freaking terrible nerd, that guy. Take it easy. He could have just sent me a message. There's like a private messaging thing like, hey, can't have your shirt off or whatever. What do you think? I was going to slip a nip in there? Hey, guess what? This nip right here, not going to offend anybody. Not going to offend anybody. This nip right here. It's a terrible nip. Not a good nip. People are actually probably going to feel bad for me. It's not going to be the complete opposite way. I mean,
look at that guy's nip.
It was just a big ordeal, obviously. So the contest, hashtag Where's Pat, turned into a hashtag Where's Pat, hashtag he got kicked out of a virtual arena contest. And we were going to have it end at the end of the Clippers Mav games. I think we do. FanDuel's still giving away $500 in site credit, and I'm going to give away $5,000 cash. Those winners will be randomly selected. I believe Connor and Zito will probably have to go through my cash out. I don't know what FanDuel's going to do, but it was an interesting night to get kicked out. And then obviously a little bit later, Rick Carlisle, head coach for the Dallas Mavs, he got kicked out as well. So two of us got kicked out, although nobody talked about that in the coverage. A little bit of a bummer, but I'm pretty pumped I got kicked out of there. I don't think I would have survived that entire thing. But awesome. I don't know how anybody signs up for that.
You know what we should do is there's
not a lot of repeat fans.
Is it all family? Or most of it family?
It didn't look like it.
No, there was a lot of diehard fans in there. Dogs were barking. I mean,
a lot of people apply to be on those things.
Yeah, like sell out, waiting list. Yes. I don't think there's a lot of return customers going in there. What were you gonna say, Z?
No, we should do they should have an animation if you get kicked out, like cop alarms and like a whole entire jail thing comes down.
Oh,
or in your box,
from Family Feud.
Because I was right behind the Mavericks bench. Is what said. I was right behind the Mavericks bench. So
the bottom row.
I was front row. I was front row. No big deal. No big deal. It doesn't matter because the view was the same. Terrible from wherever you're at. But they just slid somebody into my spot as soon as I was gone.
Sons of bitch.
Probably that admin, by the way.
Yeah.
That admin wanted to get a little showtime, kicks me out, gets his face in there. Oh, that guy.
Section 6.